Good day, Ma'am Eli. I am Janica Macaranas-Berry, one of the reporter of the topic Musical Education in Renaissance Period. Music in Renaissance Period approximately 14 to 1600s. So Renaissance, when we say Renaissance, comes from the Greek word renaitre. Renaitre means rebirth, rediscover, and revival. It is also the period of looking back to the golden age of Greece and Rome. It is also known as the golden age of a cappella choral music. Lute was the prominent instrument of this era. For musicians, this is an era of discovery, innovation, and exploration, where musicians experimented new styles, harmonies, techniques, and developing more expressive and intricate composition. So there are five characteristics of Renaissance music. First is mostly polyphonic. So when we say polyphonic, poly from the word poly means many and phonic means sounds. So meaning multiple independent melodies are played or sung at same time, creating a rich and complex time. Second is imitation among the voices is common. So when we say imitation means that there is a repetitions of melody in a polyphonic texture shortly after its flowed first appearance in a different voices. Third is use of word painting in text and music. From the word painting means that we refer to a musical technique of composing music that reflects literal meaning of the song lyrics. Let's say ascending skills with the company lyrics about going up, while slow or dark music with the company lyrics about then in short. Kung malipayon ang lyrics, the composer used fast beat music. And then kung sad or gool ang lyrics, the composer used slow beat music. So, this technique is used para mas masabdan sa mga maminaw if what kind is music, malipayon ba or goal. Next is melodic lines move in a flowing manner. So, it means that in Renaissance, melodies are smooth and connected, and their music's sounds are natural and expressive. The last characteristic is melodies are easier to perform because of this move along a scales with a few large leaps, meaning where Renaissance melodies are generally stepwise up and down one note at a time and making them more singable and fluid.
Now, let's move on to the two vocal music of Renaissance period. So first is the Mass. It is a form of sacred musical composition that set text of the Eucharistic liturgy into music. It was often featured complex polyphonic textures and was a central part of Catholic worships. So the second is the Madrigal, a secular vocal polyphonic music composition which originated from Italy. It is written and expressed in a poetic text and sung during country social gatherings. It is the most important secular form during the Renaissance period. So, these pieces were typically sung a cappella or without instrument accompaniment and explored a range of emotions and themes, often focusing on love, nature, and personal experiences. Composers like Thomas Morley and Claudio Monteverde were known for their contributions to the madrigal genre. So we already know the two vocal music of Renaissance period, which is the Mass and the Madrigal. So now let's move on to their characteristics. So first is the characteristics of Mass. So there are polyphonic, may be sung a cappella or with orchestral accompaniment, and text may be syllabic, one note set to its syllable, pneumatic, a few notes set to one syllable, or melismatic, many notes to one syllable. So if we say polyphonic, so it is a texture where two or more independent melodic lines occur simultaneously. So think of it as multiple voices or instruments playing different but related melodies at the same time. Then, asang a cappella, so muna na siya ang katong magkanta nga walay tugtog, walay music. Or pwede po siya with orchestral accompaniment. Naa siya'y mga instrument gamiton. Before we move on to the characteristic of madrigal, let me introduce to you the five main section of Mass. So, they are Kyrie, Gloria, Credo, Sanctus, and Agnus Dei. So, Kyrie, a prayer for mercy, traditionally sung in Greek as Kyrie eleison, or in English, Lord have mercy. Then, Gloria, a hymn of praise and glory to God, typically sung in Latin as Gloria in excelsis Deo, or in English, Glory to God in the highest. Then, Credo, a statement of faith containing the Nicene Creed or the Apostles' Creed is recited or sung. Then Sanctus, a hymn of praise, often sung in Latin, Sanctus, Sanctus or Holy, and sometimes followed by Benedictus. Then 5 is the Agnus Dei, a prayer for peace, often sung in Latin as Agnus Dei or the Lamb of God. Now that we're done with the five main section of Mass, let's move on to the characteristics of madrigal. So same as the characteristic of Mass, they both have polyphonic, then sang a cappella. So in Mass, it also sang a cappella, but it also used with the accompaniment. But in the madrigal, it is sang a cappella, then thoroughly composed and frequently in 3 to 6 voices.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Aurelie Macalos, the last reporter about the musical education and the Renaissance. So now let's move on to the famous composers of the Renaissance period. First is Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina. He is the greatest master of Roman Catholic Church music during the Renaissance period. So majority of his compositions are sacred music. He was committed to sacred music and has a keen interest in satisfying the desire of church leaders in the 16th century. So Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina was a renowned Italian Renaissance composer of sacred music, born in Palestrina near Rome around 1525. So he is considered one of the greatest composer of the late Renaissance, known for his mastery of polyphonic music. Palestrina compositions are characterized by clarity, balance, and serenity, reflecting the ideals of the Catholic Church. His music often features smooth, flowing melodies and careful text settings, ensuring that the words are clear and intelligible. Palestrina's most famous work, the Pope Marcellus Mass, is a masterpiece of Renaissance polyphony and exemplifies his style. Throughout his career, he held various positions as a composer, singer, and music director in Rome, including at St. Peter Basilica. Palestrina's legacy has had a lasting impact of Western classical music, and his compositions continue to be performed and admired for their beauty and craftsmanship. He died on February 2, 1594, leaving behind a body of work that remains an essential part of music history. So, second is Thomas Murray. So, Thomas Murray was born in Norwich, East England, the son of the brewer. He was a singer in the local cathedral from his boyhood, and he became master of choristers there in 1583. Thomas Marley was the most famous composer of secular music in his time. So, Thomas Marley was a renowned English composer, theorist, and organist of the Renaissance period, born around 1557 or 1558. He was a prominent figure in the English madrigal school, known for his contributions to the development of the madrigal in England. Marley music is characterized by its lightness, elegance, and expressiveness, often featuring catchy and melodies and clever word painting. Some of his famous compositions include Firefly My Heart, Sing and Chant It, Fantasy, April is in My Mistress' Face, It Was a Lover and His Last. So Marley compositions are still performed and admired today for the beauty, craftsmanship, and emotional depth. His legacy as a composer and theorist has had a lasting impact of English music, and he remains one of the most celebrated figure of the English Renaissance. That's all. Thank you.